Detective Dan Parra with the Topanga Division Burglary Section. We're here to talk about residential burglaries and how to better protect your homes as well as your neighbors' homes and what to look for. Here is our contact information for Topanga Detective Division and our address and phone number. This is Topanga Detective Division's Burglary Section. Detective Teresa Gordon, Detective Kevin Foster, my information, as well as Detective Jude Bella's information. Here is an example of a burglary in progress. This incident actually occurred in 2009. The crime itself lasted 15 minutes. For the interest of time, it was condensed. It's going to take about 2.5 minutes. But here the suspect vehicle arrives. First passenger steps out of the vehicle, goes and knocks on the front door of the residence. He returns after not getting any response at the door, notifies his cohorts in the vehicle, and he makes his way to the rear and side yard of the residence. Suspects will also possibly be communicating via cell phone or walkie-talkie, letting each other know when to approach the house. The first suspect is probably already forcing his way into the residence. He then communicates with the other suspects to approach and assist him with the removal of any of the property that they want to take. A few minutes later, one steps out, prepares the passenger door for entry, maybe dropping off some of the property. Moments later, the driver is going to come out, enter the vehicle, and prepare the vehicle to drive away. Here comes the driver. And if you notice, the additional suspects are waiting for the driver to start the engine. And the second suspect has a pretty large television and quickly gets into the back seat of this two-door Ford Explorer. Third suspect follows, picks up the property he dropped, and they drive away. All within 15 minutes. They were inside the house approximately 10. And that is your typical residential burglary and how suspects work. Burglary suspects are usually males and females, anywhere between the ages of 13 and 40 years of age. 1 to 4 suspects. The suspects are usually in one vehicle, or a crew may utilize more than one vehicle. The suspects may ride bicycles into the neighborhood, and usually those suspects live within the proximity to that neighborhood. Suspects are typically not armed. Suspects may carry backpacks to carry property away. Generally, suspects do not want to burglarize a home that is occupied. They don't want any confrontations or witnesses. A residential burglary is a strike offense. A hot prop burglary, where the victim or someone is inside the residence when the burglary occurs, is considered a violent crime offense. What should we be looking for? Cars driving slowly in or driving by multiple times in your neighborhood. Possibly approach more than one residence. An occupant exiting the vehicle and knocking on the front door while other occupants stay inside the vehicle. Suspects looking in windows and at any neighbors or passerby. Suspects walking to the side of the residence and or to the rear yard. Suspects may ask for a person that they are looking for if confronted by a resident. Suspects may pose as a door-to-door salesperson. You need to understand that these burglary suspects will have an answer. They will have something ready for a response if they are confronted. Los Angeles Municipal Code 41.43.1. No person shall, between the hours of 9 o'clock p.m. and 8 a.m. of the following day, solicit, sell, or offer to sell, demonstrate, or take orders for the sale of goods, wares, or any form of merchandise. 41.43.1 LAMC It's against the law for anyone to sell anything door to door unless you invite them, unless you request them to respond to your house. Additional suspects may enter the residence. One suspect may stay inside the vehicle or outside of the residence as a lookout. Suspect may use cell phones, walkie-talkies to communicate with each other. Suspects may park their vehicle in the driveway or maybe even back their vehicle in the driveway. The suspects will exit residence with property. Now, what suspects look for? Residences with no one home. No vehicles in the driveway. Blinds and or curtains closed. Mail, newspaper, packages piled at the front door. Trash cans not taken out or in when they should be. In other words, on the scheduled day of trash collection, are the trash cans out like all your neighbors? And are they in after pickup when they should be like all your neighbors? Large shrubs by windows, front doors, side gates. And this provides cover from neighbors or passerbys that can see the suspects. No deterrence. Are there any deterrents whatsoever at your home or your neighbor's home? They'll also look for any residents leaving their home. There's a lot of incidents where a victim will return after going down the street or going to pick up the kids or going to the grocery store. They'll return after 15 minutes and they've already been burglarized. And they're also looking for opportunity. If the opportunity's there, they're going to take it. Rely on your instincts. Rely on your neighbor's habits. In other words, does your neighbor usually have guests at this time of day or night? Does your neighbor's guests park in the driveway? Does your neighbor's guests go to the side or rear yard without making any contact with your neighbor? Does the persons appear to be associated with your neighbor? Do they look like they are friends or relatives of your neighbor? If it doesn't seem right, call 911. Do not call your neighbor first. Remember, there's some lag time. By the time you call the operator dispatches a police car and the officers respond. In between that time, the suspects could have already entered the house, taken the property, and have fled. So please, call 911 first, then we'll get in touch with your neighbor. Be a good witness. Do not confront the suspects at all. Do not let the suspects see you. You are our eyes and ears until we respond. Call 911. Do not hang up. Don't let the operator disconnect with you. It could happen. Communicate with the operator and paint a picture, a visual picture of what is occurring. Give as much information to the operator that you can. Vehicle, license plates, type and color of the vehicle or vehicles. How many suspects? Descent, tattoos, clothing, anything that stands out about the suspects that can better describe and better inform the officers that are responding. Describe the location as best as you can. Landmarks, what color the house, trees, anything that stands out as officers are responding, that they have an idea of where on that city block these suspects are and where you are. How to protect your property. Any deterrent will help. Make your home appear that someone is there. Lock your gates. Keep your doors, windows, and garage doors locked. Have your blinds and or curtains open. Now, the reason for that is, as these suspects are driving by and they're looking for a house to pick, their first thought when they see a curtains or blinds open is possibility of someone being at home. Well, your thought is, well, people are going to be able to see inside my house. The concept is, as these suspects are driving by, you want them to keep from coming to your front door. Because once they come to your front door and they knock, they get no response, they're going to see everything inside your house. It's about keeping them driving on and away from your front door so they don't burglarize your house. Have your alarm on. A lot of victims have these great alarm systems, but they're no use if you don't turn them on, even if it's for that drive down to the corner and back. Have a radio or television on. Make it sound like someone is watching or listening to talk radio show or anything. Maybe have them on timers as well. Install video surveillance cameras, visible and or hidden, real or fake. Anything that will help deter anyone from wanting to burglarize your home. Exterior lighting surrounding your residence, motion sensors, as well as on timers. Interior lighting of your residence, motion sensors, certain areas of your residence. Timers that turn on your lights prior to dusk. It doesn't help that your house is completely dark at dusk and early evening when suspects are driving by and see your house completely dark. I have these lights on prior to dusk. Landscaping. Limit your cover around the front door, windows, and side gates. Plant thorny vegetation to keep suspects away from these windows and doors. Make a plan with your family and neighbors. Exchange your contact information with each other. Phone numbers, emails. Take a look at your house from the street and from your neighbors' homes. How does it look? What can your neighbors see? Can they possibly see somebody hiding on your side gate behind a window? Make some modifications. Be aware of your surroundings. Who's on the street when you leave home? Is someone driving slowly around the neighborhood? You don't recognize the vehicle. You don't recognize the people walking down the street. Go back into your house or wave to a family member that isn't in the house, but at least it'll make a passerby believe that someone is there. Itemize your belongings. Please photograph all your property. Document the serial numbers. Engrave an identifiable number on your property that has no serial number. It could be whatever it is that you want to engrave on it, just as long as if you do become a victim, you know what that serialized sequence is that you put on your property. Keep a copy of the photographs and itemized list of the property in a safe place. Use a quality safe that is bolted to a solid surface, such as a concrete floor. You don't want it bolted to drywall. You don't want it bolted to a wooden floor. Suspects have in the past pried with using leverage, pried that huge safe from a master bedroom in a second floor from a victim's residence, and have basically just pushed out that safe down the stairs and were able to carry it away in their awaiting vehicle. Please do not keep your valuables, your family heirlooms hidden inside your master bedroom. Use those safes. Use a safety deposit box. Keep your most precious property, family heirlooms, weapons inside a safe or safety deposit box. Do not hide those most precious items, those most valuable items inside your master bedroom. I hope this presentation has been helpful to you. Please be safe.